Hey, it's a new day and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to hang out with you guys this afternoon. I actually just got back from working out. I put the kids down for their naps and I took a luxurious shower. I feel so good. And now I'm combing my hair, and this afternoon I'm gonna make myself an iced coffee, light a candle, sit down in my office and work on my 2023 vision board, goals for the year, yearly reset. I don't know, but we're not doing it like the way you probably see online all over the place. I saw so many different videos that said how to make your vision board actually work and like stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not telling the universe how to live my life or anything like that. My goals for the year really just encompass following God, learning more about Him, and just being a light to the world and to my family. So it's maybe a little bit of a different idea compared to what you're seeing online. Also, I'm kind of stuck in a juxtaposition of one, feeling like on fire and like energized, and you know that new year feeling, at least I get it every year. I get it at the beginning. I used to teach school. I got it at the beginning of every year then as well. Just that fresh, clean slate, starting new, maybe kicking out some bad habits and restarting some, ones that we would have left by the wayside or whatever. So yeah, even though I feel like on fire and ready to start fresh, I also feel like I don't want to pack this new year full of like specific goals, because I also want to be part of this new year. I want to be just like living in the moment and not always pursuing the next thing. Like just enjoy the stage I'm in and not always be thinking about the next thing. That's kind of my personality, and so I have to like consciously work against that. And stick around till the end if you want to see how I make my vision board. You can do it for free on Canva, and I actually put them as screensavers on the back of my phone and my laptop, not so I can recite mantras and blah 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 whatever, but just so that I see it once in a while and it reminds me what my focus is this year. I usually include my word for the year, my verse for the year, all those types of things on there, so when I check the time or I'm opening up my laptop, I see it. It's like the first thing. Hang on, Josh is calling. Usually I'm the one calling him. Anyway, one of the things on my vision board for 2022 was to continue to look into skincare. I just turned the big 30, don't make me say it out loud, guys, like a couple days ago, and so it's really been kind of like, wow, I don't wear a lot of makeup and things like that, but I do spend a little bit of money on my skincare. I like to look into it, look into the ingredients, and I would actually like to recommend the brand that I've been using lately for the last while. It's called Peach and Lily, and they are a worry-free skincare brand. Right now I'm putting on their glass skin refining serum. I actually usually put this on in the evening, and then I don't usually shower in the middle of the day unless I'm working out. So anyway, you're actually looking at my skin at the worst time of the month, and it's actually not terrible. I did have a zit come and go, as it usually does every month, but I'm a very freckly person, and I probably should have been worrying about skincare long before I actually started to. But ever since I hit my 20s, I've been using Old Lady cream and yeah, things like that. So the thing I love about this glass skin refining serum is that it makes your skin look less dull. It makes it very luminous, and it feels like so good on my skin. I definitely think you guys should try it out. I love the pretty packaging. Like, now that I have a new bathroom here, pretty packaging is a must. But the glass skin refining serum actually has peach extract in it and niacinamides, and also hyaluronic acid. It makes your skin calm down if you're having like some inflammation or like dry. I have very dry, scaly skin, so I don't know. I love what it does for my skin, and I also usually use that in the evenings. And then right here on my counter, I have this pretty stuff too. This is the Peptide Pro Firming Moisturizer. I'm not gonna put it on now because I just put the other stuff on, but look at that. It's so fun. It's like pale blue. This is like the Old Lady cream. It says lifts and target wrinkles. I have really kind of deep crow's feet. I blame it on my years of teaching school and being so expressive and whatever, and I don't plan on doing like filler or Botox or anything, so I'm just gonna have the crow's feet. I'm gonna have the lines on my forehead, but it doesn't mean I don't want to take care of the skin that I do have. Their Peptide Pro Firming Moisturizer actually has 4 different amino acids in it that promote collagen production, which is so important for taking care of the skin you have. Check out Peach and Lily down below. They are a worry-free skincare brand. They have no toxins, fragrance, gluten. They're cruelty-free and vegan as well. So you can find a lot of helpful information on their website. I will link it down below, as well as a discount for you all. Okay, skincare done, feeling better. let's go downstairs. I'm gonna make myself an iced coffee and then I'll explain what's going on. By the way, if you're new to my channel, I'm a mom of 3. My oldest is 5 and in kindergarten, and my youngest is just turned 1. So you're definitely welcome no matter what stage of life you're in, but I feel like this type of video is often made by like, I don't know, younger girls, college girls, people that don't have the busyness of young kids. But I feel like this is a self-care moment in my life every time I do this. And I feel like that quote, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, is kind of true in my life at least. So I'm looking forward to today and I'm glad you guys are all here. So good. My friend actually made the brown sugar syrup and she said she put chai tea bags in it. That sounds so amazing, and it is. It's so good. One more thing I wanted to point out before we get started is my planners. Yes, I designed a planner at the end of 2022 here and they sold out 4 times, but they're a local print shop that prints them, so it's nice. I can go right down the road, pick them up, and bring them back. They said they can print me 1 more order for the year. When these sell out, they're just sold out. We're not gonna redo it again. I don't wanna have a bunch of inventory sitting around. The nice thing is though, these are great gifts because they're undated. So if somebody wants to start in April to get their life organized, they can. This is how my brain works. It's super simple, super easy. It's a block it off schedule. So there's 3 blocks per day and you can just fill it out according to your needs. And if you skip a week, no problem. You just start over the next week and it's undated, so it's totally fine. But I have found that I'm so much more productive when I get my thoughts down on paper, especially with like my ADHD brain. I feel like I'm always scrambling to try to remember what I wanted to get done or which order. Like honestly, with little kids, sometimes it all comes down to the order that you do things. Like there's certain things that are just way better done. Like I just got done with the gift wrapping season, did that during the baby's naps because I wasn't gonna do that with him crawling around everywhere. So this year, did I reach my goals? I'm actually looking at my little laptop here. I have my vision board from last year on all my devices, my phone and my laptops, like I was saying, so that I see them all the time. They're kind of front of mind and they're never too far from view. While we are gonna work on my new vision board for the year later in this video, I don't share everything until the year is over with. It just feels a little bit invasive. You guys don't need to know all my dreams and plans for the coming year. But for some reason, it feels a little more reasonable to share the past year. So for 2022, my word for the year was lighthearted. And this was a very good word for me because I am not lighthearted. That may not come across in my videos. I don't know, but I worry a lot. I've been suffering with some anxiety that I never really dealt with before. And I'm just too serious sometimes. I feel like I need to be a little more lighthearted, loosen up. And this past year, that word was so good for me. While I don't feel like you can really truly become a lighthearted person in 1 year, I feel like having that word in front of me has done wonders. I did not put a specific verse on my vision board this year, just because there wasn't one that was like super fitting. But then as you work your way around the vision board, I kind of have family goals, business goals, hobbies, home and lifestyle and wellness and spiritual goals. And yeah, it's just a lot of mom life stuff. I actually have a whole video on my channel about romanticizing your life as a mom. And I feel like that whole mindset has helped me a lot, especially through the winter months. I feel like that is so key. So if you haven't watched that video, definitely go do. A few other things on my vision board. I have some pictures on here of getting on the floor and playing with the kids. And that is something I want to continue to do better in 2023. I did do it some, and I've actually started reading aloud to my kids chapter books more, and it's been so fun. I'll talk about that more in an upcoming video, but I want to continue that as well. On here I have a house with a for rent sign. We did buy a house at the end of 2021 and we got renters in it in 2022. It was a huge goal of mine, especially with YouTube. That was kind of the goal. to start some investments. We decided to go the real estate route because my husband is in construction and he knows about all that kind of thing. So that has been a goal come true. On here I have a picture of a leather bag. I want to design a new leather bag in 22. I did design it. It is not out for sale yet. That's coming up here in the future. And then I have another item on here, a concrete trivet tray I wanted to include. I was very specific in a couple of these, and that did happen. I wanted to get better with my camera skills, so I have this lady here with her camera, and I feel like I could have done better in that area, but at the same time, I did learn a lot of new things. Moving into 2023, I would like to figure out what a LUT is and maybe download that for my editing software. Because I would like to make at least the intros of my videos more appealing. I feel like it's very important to show real life. You can't have everything through like rose-colored glasses or a filter or a lens or anything. But I think it would be fun for like the artsy shots at the beginning of a video to kind of learn more about that. I have a picture here of the kids in the kitchen. We did do a lot of cooking, especially in the winter. It's kind of like a hands-on activity with the children. Now that my daughter is in school a couple days a week, we haven't been doing that as much. So I want to get better at that. For my YouTube channel, I used to always make subscriber goals, and I decided that was stressing me out too much. I'm not going to worry about that. I decided I'm going to work towards the 60K views consistently per video, and I did not hit that consistently, but I feel like if you average everything out, it does come to about that, because I had a few videos each year that, you know, kind of blow up or take off, and if you average it out, I definitely think I hit that. But I feel like the most important thing is for me to focus on what I can control, which is searchable content, relatable content, timely content, and yeah, just focus on getting people to click and to enjoy it and to come back for another video. So that's kind of what I want to focus on again in 2023, and not get too hung up on things like the metrics that I can't control. I don't think I'm gonna make so many specific goals in 2023, just because I feel like there's so much more up in the air. Last year when I sat down to make my vision board, I had just had a baby, and the next year was just gonna be dedicated to raising that baby and my other 2 kids, and anything else was just a bonus. And so this coming year, I feel like there's a lot more up in the air. My husband, his brother just stopped working for him. He went to drive truck, which has been a dream of his. And so I'm not even sure what Josh is planning on doing in the new year. He goes back and forth on a couple different things. This is the problem. When you're married to such a talented guy and he's very responsible, very hard worker, and he's just super talented. I feel like he could be so employable to anyone, but he does have his own business and he enjoys that too. So I feel like it's a blessing and a curse. I was telling Josh, I said, boy, your troubles are so tough. You're just too good at everything. Because he's been like throwing around all different types of things. I think he might be having a quarter life, midlife crisis. I don't know. I feel like being the wife of a husband who's questioning his career decisions or like where he wants to go is always a little disconcerting. I heard a quote somewhere that women just want stability, and I feel like that's at least true for me. I definitely feel like I like stability, and so I will be so happy when he feels a specific calling from God, or maybe just more of a stay put, you're where you're supposed to be kind of confirmation, because that will make me feel a lot more settled too. But that's fine. You definitely learn a lot when you're seeking God, and I don't think we should rush through this phase of life. I feel like when you are searching, you feel so much closer to God. So yeah, I don't know if there'll be as many specific goals in my 2023 calendar year. The other thing is too, I don't know about the whole baby thing on here. I know in 2021, I had a pregnant lady on my vision board because I really wanted to get pregnant in 2021, and then it did happen. I also wanted to get pregnant in 2020, and that did not happen. So yeah, you just never know. But I'm not sure what I want in that area this year. And I don't know if it matters what I want, you know? God is in control for sure. I feel like I look at my life with just in the young childbearing years as each year is either one of 2 things. It's either one, raising a baby, which is very time consuming and hands-on, and like you need to be pretty focused when it comes to that. You just don't get as much done when you are raising like a under 1-year-old, you know? And then on those off years, it's been like preparing for getting pregnant again someday in the future. You know, trying to work on systems and teaching the kids how to do chores and getting organization projects done, home improvement projects, things like that. So I think that's what this year is going to be looking like, more things like that, focusing on maintaining what I have. Like I really thought that, you know what, we've had 3 kids, boom, 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 so quickly. It's time to relax a little, ease into it, and just do parenting well, and not always be ready for the next thing, the next baby or whatever. But at the same time, I don't know if God's trying to talk to me or what, but I feel like I keep seeing pictures of families with like 11 kids, 12 kids, like 5 kids, 5 and under, and I'm like, wow, okay, so people do it. I'm not saying that's what I want to do or what I feel called to do, but people do it. So it's just, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. I guess it's a good thing I'm not totally in control. I am going to put on my vision board for this year to continue learning more about my body and my cycles. I've definitely leaned into that a lot this year. We, if you're new to my channel, got pregnant immediately when we wanted to with our first and second, and then our third took a while. It took 8 months, so I don't know if that's really a while. It felt like forever when we were in it. And it was especially something we were not even anticipating at all with getting pregnant so quickly the first 2 times. So it's been really good. I've been using natural cycles. That should go on my vision board for this year. I would love to work with them in the coming year because I love them so much. I keep reaching out and saying, let's do a partnership. We'd be so perfect together. But it hasn't happened yet. Maybe it will. But I've used that app to help with like the fertility awareness method, I believe is what it's called. And it's so fascinating. I highly encourage you, even if you're not married yet or like being sexually active, I highly recommend doing it just to learn about your body and your cycles and everything. It's so fascinating. You learn about the length of them, your temperature spikes at certain times. I do ovulation strips as well, so I can pinpoint when I ovulate each month. Then if you are married, you can kind of use that knowledge to help you to get pregnant or to try to slow things down a little bit and not get pregnant right away again. So I don't know, it's a natural thing. I was on birth control for a couple years, way back right after we had gotten married, and I have I need to share my story with that sometime. I have shared bits and pieces here and there, but anyway, that's something else I want to continue to learn about in 2023. On my vision board here, I also had that I wanted to prioritize sleep. It's something that's very hard with a newborn, but I think I did pretty well at that. Our third one was our worst sleeper, but he still slept through the night at around 7 weeks. He just had more like sleep regressions and stuff that we had to work through. But overall, it was pretty smooth. I have on here that I want to do more meal planning and thoughtful meals, and I have gone in and out of those seasons through the past 12 months, I would say. Like right now, again, I feel inspired to cook for my family, and we're doing family feasts is what my 5-year-old calls them. It was actually her idea. It's been so fun. I will talk about that in an upcoming video. But then there's times where I'm just feeling so uninspired, and like grocery shopping is the last thing I feel like doing. On here I had that I wanted to do more skincare research, and I've done that as we talked about earlier. And then I have a bedroom in the corner. I wanted to turn our giant bedroom into like an oasis for me and my husband, and it's almost there. I underestimated the length of time it takes for furniture to come in over like the way it is now in the world. But that is going to be happening here in January, so stay tuned. That video will be up super soon. I just have a few more things yet. Oh, here's my daughter. She's getting off the bus. Hang on. You just missed my favorite half hour of the day. I love hearing all the school stuff. So fun. But anyway, yeah, that's another thing that happened this year that was new. On here, I was pretty ambiguous about the physical things, like goals I wanted to do. I had just had a baby, so I wanted to be kind to my body, but I also wanted to keep working out, so I just had a weight there. This year, again, I don't know what I want to do because I've been going to a workout class that allows your kids to come, and I usually go on Fridays. She does it on Tuesdays as well, I believe. But her price has gone up to $10 a class, which I wouldn't do it for less than that. You know, I think that's a very fair price. But then now I have to just decide for myself, do I want to pay the 10 bucks for one workout class a week and then like do other stuff? Or like I could get a Planet Fitness membership. I think it's like what, 20 bucks a month or something, and go often, but then I can't take my kids along. So I'm not sure what I want to do in that department yet. I still need to talk to Josh about it a little more. Again, it's like you can plan stuff, but you don't know. So I feel like there's so many things that I will like take month by month, and I'm very moody. Like some months I'll be like, okay, this month is all about the physical fitness. I am buckling down here. We're gonna do better with this or that or whatever. I definitely like to celebrate happy new months is what I like to call them, and just have like a specific goal for that month. I do that a lot in relation to like habits that I want to implement, like my personal devotions or like workout programs, things like that, because I feel like a month, 30 days is like a good measurable amount. If I say I want to do the same thing for the next 365 days, it's not going to be exciting or fun for me. So that's why I don't know what. I definitely want to continue moving. I want to run a 5K this year. I don't know exactly what that's all going to look like. My parents also have a gym in their chicken house in the one room. We all, like my whole family, we all donated the workout equipment that we have all to that one area, so I can go over there and work out. The kids could run around on the farm. It's kind of cold right now, but I don't know how I want that to look in the future. I do go on lots of walks. I try to go every day that Josh gets home in time. I'd like to go before, here he comes. Yay, the other favorite part of the day. I do like to, go on walks if it's still light out when he comes home from work. On here I have a few more pictures of just like relaxing vacation. We are planning to go to Minnesota this summer. It's slightly a work trip because of something I'm doing out there. I'm so excited that I get to offer this opportunity to my family to go to Minnesota, and it's a work trip. But we're also going to take some family time when we're out there. So I'm so excited. I get to fly on an airplane, so that's going to be a whole new perspective for them. I'm nervous, but I'm very excited. So why don't I tell you about my word for the year before I get into making my vision board and showing you how I do that. So I like to think long and hard about what word I want for the year, and I think it was back in October where I really kind of felt a nudging for what my word for this year should be. And I haven't felt prompted to change it at all, and I think this is my word for this year. And you guys can adopt it as well if you want. The word is haven. And I feel like if you decide to use this word, you might go at it from a totally different angle than I do. But let me explain where I'm coming from with this. A lady from my church gave a sermon, a topic, a speech about making your home a haven for your family. And with that, does your family feel like they are safe in your home? Do they feel like they can open up to you? Do they feel like they can share? A lot of the things she talked about kind of encompass things as a mom of older kids, like teenagers. Do they want to come home, or are they always off with their friends because they don't feel like home is a safe space, a harbor, an anchor for, like a predictable place to be? That's not something you can just whip into shape when your kid all of a sudden turns 13 or whatever. You have to start working on that now. So I have a feeling this word is going to be recurring throughout my life in different years. So 2023 is going to be haven, and it's not just making my home be like cozy and organized and restful and peaceful, but also cultivating a spirit and an attitude in our home. When you walk in the door, children don't understand it, but they can feel it. Does it feel like an orderly place? Does it feel, this does not come down to aesthetics either. Like, you don't have to have one bit of design style in you to have your home feel like a haven. It more comes down to, like, do your children feel like they can share their heart with you? And she did bring out too that why would they share their heart with you if you never share your heart with them? You have to be vulnerable to your kids too. And I'm like, wow, I'm not that vulnerable with my kids. If I can't be vulnerable with my 5-year-old, how am I going to do it when she's 15? It starts now. So I want to be able to apologize when I mess up. I want to ask for forgiveness. I want to show honesty when I'm feeling sad or down without weighing their little hearts down as well. But life isn't always all sunshine and rainbows. And so we need to model real life emotions to our children and how to handle them properly. My kids know when I'm annoyed at their father. How am I going to handle that in front of them? So that they can also learn to model and handle their emotions too. The word haven also speaks to my marriage goals for this year. I did show this book last year. It is called The Flirtation Experiment, and I started going through it. I'm about halfway through. There's no excuse. I should be the whole way through. There is only 30 chapters, so I should have done one a week, but after a while it started to be like a lot of things to think about, and so I started going slower. So here you can see my bookmark. I'm literally about halfway through. So I'm going to continue that in the new year, but this sounds maybe very, now I'm being vulnerable with you guys, and I definitely don't need to do that. But I did think about this. Do I actually want to share this out loud? But there's probably other women that are feeling the same way. In creating a haven for my family, that also includes my husband. And does he feel safe with me? Or am I always trying to make him think that have it together, I'm fine, am I actually being truly vulnerable with him? And the word intimacy came to mind, which I hate that word. It sounds like awkward, like whatever, but we're not gonna get into that whole thing. Maybe someday in the future, but I don't know, I don't feel called to speak on that right now. But intimacy with your feelings and talking, and we just came from my birthday trip in Brooklyn, New York, and I feel like it takes so much time together for me to feel safe to open up. And I have a feeling like Josh is probably the same way. Guys are even less so comfortable sharing their feelings, I feel like, compared to women. And if I have a hard time being vulnerable, why would I expect him to be, you know? And I've just had this realization lately that, you know what? If we want to be best friends and go through life together, we're gonna have to like discuss hard things sometimes, or like just be willing to be open and vulnerable and like truly intimate with each other when it comes to like our hearts. So that also kind of falls under the word haven. I don't think it's actually gossiping if it's you and your spouse talking in private, not the kids listening. If you're like working through some emotions that you have, I don't know. I feel like Josh and I are one, so I feel like I should be allowed to tell him anything. Now, in the past, I've had friends that told me they were pregnant, or they accidentally told me they were pregnant. I was like, don't worry about it. I'm not gonna tell Josh, because guys are just, they forget what's supposed to be a secret when it comes to like pregnancy and stuff like that. So there's been a few times where I've just like waited to tell Josh some things like that, just because I know he might let it slip. Not that he can't keep secrets, it's just that he forgets that they are secrets in the first place. But other than that, I just don't want to have secrets. And I don't feel like there's any big things I need to change, but I do feel like it is going to take effort and being open with the small things, so that if there is ever any big things, that we can work through them together and I don't have to feel like alone or anything like that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still navigating what that is going to totally look like. Maybe I'll flesh it out more as I get my vision board together. And again, I'm struggling to know what to share that's not like oversharing, because it's Josh and my marriage. But yeah, I feel like we just had some really good times these past couple weeks and good conversations, and I want to keep that ball rolling. I want Josh to feel safe with his heart towards me and vice versa. So something else I'm thinking about for 2023. So wow, that got a little heavy there towards the end. So if you would like to create a vision board for yourself, or just kind of like a goal board, something, I mean, whatever you want to call it. We're not manifesting here or chanting things or reading things out loud or writing things down 50 times to put it out into the universe, right? We're just trying to be intentional with our year, follow God's promptings and leadings. But if you would like to try this for yourself, I highly recommend that you just create some cozy, quiet moments here and there. I've done them throughout the past month. It hasn't all just been one day where I sat down and wrote things down. It's just whenever I felt like I wanted to. And you don't have to get this done by January 1st either. Don't feel like that's what needs to happen. If you are thinking about doing a vision board, just jot things down. Sunday afternoons are a great time to do this. I love to like sit by the Christmas tree and see what comes to my brain. Or sometimes, yeah, things just come to my head while I'm working in the kitchen or whatever. And I would say, if you are one of those people that does not enjoy like hardcore goals, a vision board might just be the thing for you, because I like to pick out pictures that kind of encapsulate more of a feeling than like a to-do list, you know? So let me show you quickly how I do my vision board if you'd like to do your own. So I did used to do it like an actual poster, and then I just have one copy. But lately what I've been doing is doing it all digitally. I didn't even print out my 2022 one at all. And I didn't feel the need to after it was on all my devices. That was good to go. So it's actually super fun and relaxing. If this doesn't sound fun to you, don't feel like you need to do it. You could just make yourself a list and make sure you look back at it frequently. But I've found that having something visual right there is definitely very, at least beneficial for me. What I do is I go on Canva and I select a new project, and I like to go to the pixels area and make it 1920 by 1080 so that this is compatible with the background of your laptop. You want to design it big, and then you can always shrink it down and it doesn't lose quality near as much. So I usually start with putting my word for the year in the middle in a font that inspires me, something that I like, and then just start thinking about different areas of your life that you'd like to create goals or just like ideas around. Some topics would be family, home, health and wellness, spiritual, business goals, financial goals, self-development or growth. It could be a topic. Just start thinking about those different areas of your life and what your ideal would be in 2023. Like, you don't have to even feel like you need to be super realistic. I like to be kind of realistic so that I'm not like shooting for the moon and then feeling discouraged. After you kind of have that figured out, I like to start in one corner. But what I do is I go into Pinterest and I just screenshot on my laptop. The way you screenshot is you hit the Windows key and the print screen button simultaneously, and that takes a picture of your screen. And after I get a pictures, most of my pictures come from Pinterest or a general Google search. You can even find some stuff on Canva. I like to have the world at my fingertips, so I kind of just do it online. After I have all those screenshots, I go into Canva, which is totally free, by the way. You can pay for the paid version. I don't, and I'm just fine. I will just upload my images there, and then you have to kind of go through the work of cropping them so that you just have the picture that you want. And I will start in one corner and kind of work my way around. Usually I start in the top right corner with family goals, marriage goals, those things. And then I move down in towards business and hobbies and that kind of thing. And as I come over to the left side, I start thinking more about my home and just habits I want to create in the new year, things I want to continue. I find that my eye is just quickly more drawn to the top right corner, so I like to put my most important things there, but you do whatever works for you. You can include fun words. I don't like to do a lot of words because I want my word for the year to kind of like jump out, but if there is words that specifically speak to you, go for it, put those in. And so I just kind of like drag and drop and put things where I belong. And like when it comes to like the feeling, like one year I know I put a picture of a husband and a wife sitting like on the edge of a cliff, just looking out at the view, and to me that was representing quality time away from distractions. That was something I wanted, so instead of writing quality time away from distractions, I found a picture that kind of emulated that. So after I have them all arranged, I'll kind of like make some that I particularly like. I'll make those bigger and other ones a little bit smaller. You kind of have to finesse things, move things around. And at this point, you might kind of see a color scheme emerging, or you might not. It might be chaotic, whatever. But at this point, what I actually like to do is after I have it all cleaned up, I will download it and email it to my phone because I have the Lightroom app on my phone because it's the free version. And I will put a filter on it so that they all kind of look like they're from the same, I don't know, it looks less cluttery and just way more aesthetic. You do you guys, I'm a little extra, I know, and I will upload it again to Canva. And then this is gonna be a crazy busy background on your laptop if you don't have some margin. So I will shrink it down and put a color in the background that speaks to me, and that's like kind of where I will drop my shortcuts on my desktop so that there's some space there. Again, you're gonna want it about 1920 by 1080 pixels. And Canva actually has templates built right in. If you go back to the home page and Google phone wallpaper, it'll give you the exact dimensions you want. It'll even give you cool backgrounds and stuff you can use. And then I will take my vision board that I've already downloaded and I will shrink it down small so it's just across the middle of my phone wallpaper. So this is kind of what my screensaver has looked like for this past year. And you might think, wow, that's so small, but you really do see things over and over again as you're like looking for your notes app or whatever. And it's there, it's at the forefront, and sometimes when I'm like waiting in line somewhere or something, I'll just take a quick glance at it intentionally. But I don't know, I feel like it's just an opportunity for it to be there. I don't believe that, and you're subconsciously like meeting your goals because of some like weird energy, or like I don't believe in any of that stuff. But anyway, after you have those designed, you can even actually print them out if you want to and have it like on your wall in your office or your bedroom or somewhere. Mine's pretty personal, so I don't really like mine just like hanging on a wall somewhere and then I have to feel like I have to move it and everything. So if it's on my devices, I feel like that's good enough. I see it all over the place and it's kind of to myself, you know. By the way, we didn't even discuss, as I'm sitting here talking to you all, I'm smelling the wonderful scent of man. This is a date night candle. It has like leather and musk and stuff in this candle. They are available on my website. It smells so good, guys. I don't know, I think there's still some in stock, but all of our candles smell amazing and are so beautiful. But anyway, I'll link those down below. Later and I've been making progress, but I wanted to go over a few more goals in case you are looking for ideas for yourself for the year. Right, we don't need more inspiration when it comes to things we want to improve in our own lives, I'm sure, but I figured if I tell you guys, maybe you guys can help keep me accountable and maybe they'll spark some of your own thoughts for your own life. We did talk about making my home a haven and how that like is part of takes your personality and your how you present yourself as well, but along with that I want to keep the word kindness at the forefront of my marriage, which sounds odd. It's like kindness, isn't it something you teach your children? But honestly, it's so hard to choose kindness with your own family and your own spouse. Like, why do we treat the people we love the most? I guess it's because we're familiar with them and we know that they know I don't know, I guess maybe that's part of being honest, right? But I also want to choose kindness. I forgot to mention that I want to work on laundry organization this year. I don't think we'll probably spend the money to totally redo the laundry this year, probably in 2024. That sounds so far away, oh my goodness. But I do want to get some systems and try some systems out, screw some bins to the wall for them to put their coats and their mittens and things in. But I want to do it now. I don't have time to paint it now and do all that. But I do want to try to figure out some systems. Even if it's not going to be pretty, I want it to be functional. And then I have on here that I also want to read at least 6 books. That's one every other month, which sounds absolutely ridiculous and small. But guys, that's like 50% more than I read this past year. And I want them to be physical books. I do a lot of self-help, and those books are very easy to like pick up and set down, pick up and set down, and just let it go on forever and ever. But I do want to finish 6 books this year, and I'm gonna make it happen. And then I wanted to address, you guys know that I'm a Christian. I talk about it on here once in a while. I don't get super like preachy or anything, but I did just want to put this in here that maybe some of you have decided the Christianity thing is not for you. God, it's not something that you need in your life. Maybe it's because you don't truly actually know the real Jesus. I know there are people who think that God is this giant authoritarian in the sky with a stick waiting to whack-a-mole every time, you know, you mess up. He's not rooting for you, he's not on your side, he's just like, yeah, basically the principal and taking away all your fun. That is not what Christianity is about. I'm just putting it out there, I don't know. But I think maybe some of you guys have just kind of rejected him or pushed him to the back burner because you don't truly know him. So that is my prayer for any of you that are out there struggling with that a little bit, or maybe you're not even, it's not even a thought in your mind anymore. You pushed it down too far. I just feel like my heart is for those of you who don't truly know God, to get an accurate portrayal of him, to feel him specifically in your own life. He loves you, he is rooting for you, he's cheering for you, and his way is truly the best. You know, the world tries to make things look so fun and glittery and sin to look so appealing and just irresistible. Following God is going to cost you everything, but at the same time, it's really the only true way to find joy and peace and a real purpose for your life. So if you have been on a journey to try to discover who God truly is, I will pray that somebody in your life, in your own physical, personal life, would be there to talk to you about that. So yeah, please don't reject a God that you don't even know who it is yet, you know? With that, thank you guys so much for being here. I hope this inspired you to at least set some goals of your own, maybe inspired some thought in you. And even if you don't write them down, even if you don't make the vision board, I just hope that you can be intentional in the coming year and that you can feel God's presence beside you through it all. So thank you guys so much for watching. Check out Peach and Lily down below. I will leave the link and the code for you down there. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone.